Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome to episode 90 of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She is Julie Dobbs. Thanksgiving is over. It is on to Christmas.
Yep. We have turned the page.
We have turned the page. And I feel like and as much as I beat the drum of it's okay to put up your Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving, I didn't end up doing it.
I heard.
I was having a little problem knowing that I was hosting people, 30 people at my house, having a little problem just throwing the pumpkins away and the cornucopia or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, because that's kind of the deal. Like if you are putting up Christmas, you have to take down Thanksgiving.
You do.
And then you host Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving.
But
decorations
in my
are gone.
case, I have like a pumpkin that has like our family monogram on it. So it's not like I had a bunch of.
I saw it.
It's not like I have.
I was like, oh, there's her
my pumpkin. There's my Thanksgiving decor.
Yeah.
But and then I was kind of sick the week that I thought I was going to do it. And then I was just like, F it, I'm just not messing with it. And then I thought, I'm just going to figure this out after the fact.
There you go.
And so anyway, yeah. So Thanksgiving, 30 people, husband fishing in the Amazon right now.
He's still there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's still there. It's going to be about.
Has he caught anything?
Yes, I guess.
I would hope if you go all the way to the Amazon to fish, you catch something.
But it's not. It's
the experience.
For these dudes, like, and
Yeah.
I like fishing. I love fishing, but I like fishing on a lake. Like, remind me to tell you the story of our 10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary when we went fly fishing. We have way too much to get to today, but make a little note.
Okay,
in your little
I'm making it.
About the fly fishing in the Bahamas and on our 10-year anniversary. Yeah. Anyway,
So you went all the way to the Bahamas.
we went to the Bahamas and then went fly fishing, and then I'll show you the picture.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm making a note.
Make a note. So anyway, yeah. So he's fishing for 10 days, and it's like maybe I shouldn't say this, but I know he feels the same. That like, or maybe he doesn't. But like sometimes I don't. He doesn't travel a ton, so when he does, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, it's hard as shit to be a solo parent, but there's something about like one less person's laundry to do. And, you just, if I want to go out to eat, we're going to go out to eat. And if I don't want to cook, all the kind of things that I'm just like, it's just kind of, I'm making all the decisions.
And then when the kids go to bed and you just sit there alone.
Yeah.
And you can put on whatever you want on the TV.
Yeah.
You can have an extra couple glasses of wine if you want, or call your best friend and just chat. Yeah, there's some good.
But I will say, we're 5 days into this excursion, and I'm like, okay, it's time. I'm ready. I'm ready for him to come home.
And he's got another 5-ish days?
He's got another 5-ish days.
Okay.
So anyway, but then I think about I don't know, and I travel a lot for work, or I did before the pandemic, and so I wonder if he's like, sweet, she's going out of town, or maybe if he's like me, where it's
probably
like
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, and then and I think it's good. Like absence makes the heart grow fonder, and like I was genuinely sad that he wasn't there for Thanksgiving. I was like, this is our first Thanksgiving that we haven't been together in probably 12 or 13 years, and we've been married for longer than that, probably 14, 15. Anyway, I was just like, it's
your buddy.
Sad.
Yeah,
it's my buddy. Yeah, and whatever. So anyway, Thanksgiving was great. 30 people. It was a lot, but we had a blast.
I don't think I could have 30 people to my Thanksgiving if I tried.
Well, I had to rent tables, so there was like tables.
Like I don't know that many people that would come over for Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, we have a big family.
I know.
So yeah. And then we invited some friends who didn't have a place to go, weren't going to be gathering with anyone. And we were like, please come over.
Yeah.
Don't want anyone to spend a holiday alone. So yeah, it was great. How was yours? I heard like you did everything like I saw a raw turkey on Thanksgiving morning and I almost hyperventilated.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
did that stress you out?
How is this ever going to cook in time? Like what are we doing here?
Smoked. It was a smoked turkey.
So it was already cooked.
No.
I thought it was raw.
It was.
But it's okay. How?
It just smokes for a few hours.
That's it?
Yeah. So so we hosted my parents, and that's all it ended up being. And then my stepson was in town, who's 18. And then the kids. So it was just our little family. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. And my mom and stepdad, love Thanksgiving. They get really into it. So they came up with a menu like a week ahead of time. They're the best house guests ever because they basically come in town and do everything.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I was pretty dang worthless. I felt bad actually. Like I avoided the dishes like the plague. I was so tired and full.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh my God, I'm not used to having people in my house that can actually help. So I'm just going to fall asleep on the couch. I did.
weren't even.
I took the best nap. Yeah. I was like, yeah, they're good. I mean, I did like the immediate dishes. I walked around and picked up dishes off of people's places. That's kind of my thing. Cause I feel like that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like you just take the dishes, you rinse them off, put them in the dishwasher and you're like, I'm good. I'm going to go watch this Cowboys game.
You guys see all those dishes I just did?
Because it had already started. I'm such a dude. It's terrible. But my mom says she loves it. So I'm just going to she just loves it.
God bless her.
Surely she's not lying.
Oh, surely not.
So anyway, they came in and they did most of the sides. I helped with the mashed potatoes and the green beans. Those were my 2 chores. But then my mom loves doing the mashed potatoes. So basically I bought the potatoes and skinned them. And then she did everything else.
We went skin on for the potatoes.
Really?
Skin on. Yeah.
For your
my special Gruyere mashed potatoes. Yeah. And they were legit. They were so good.
Yeah. Skin
so
on.
proud.
Do you boil them and everything
yep.
and then mash them up, but with the skin?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, potato skin's supposed to be good for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, they did most of the work, but Kelly's contribution was smoking a turkey because he's got this Traeger grill that we love. And
shout out to Traeger
Shout
Grills.
out to Traeger if you want to come.
Ladies like grills too.
There you go. If you want to come be a sponsor of the Mom Game. I could just rave about the Traeger grill forever because it is amazing.
But we won't right now. Maybe at a later date yes. we will rave about the Traeger grill.
It'll cost you. Why not? Let's shoot for the stars, Em.
Might as well.
So anyway, they know that he loves grilling on it. So like, do you want to smoke a turkey? And so he, researched it and came up with a plan. It was a little touch and go there, like, cause he didn't have the turkey until the day before. I was like, are you getting the turkey? Are you getting the turkey? He's like, I'm going to get the turkey. Are you getting the turkey? I'm going to get the turkey.
And there was like a turkey shortage, right?
I don't know.
Do we have supply chain issues?
I think it's a lot of hype because I was worried. I was like almost rude to him about like, how are you don't have the turkey yet. It's the day before Thanksgiving. And I walked into Sprouts and there were like 50 turkeys.
800
like,
turkeys.
Right when you walk in.
Yeah. Okay.
So I texted the picture of the turkey. I was like, do you want me to get the turkey? Like, I know you say you're getting the turkey, but I'm right here and I can grab the turkey. He's like, yes, grab the turkey. So I mean, the man's like working late and traveling and blah, 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 whatever.
He's not fishing on the Amazon
He's not
River.
fishing on the Amazon River. No, he's trying to contribute.
Love you, honey.
Yes, of course, Mike. We love you, and I really want to learn more about fishing on the Amazon River and what all that entails.
Oh yeah.
But so I got the turkey, and then Kelly. I don't know the right even terminology.
Brine.
Like he brined it, which is like putting it in something.
Yes.
For a little while.
Liquidy.
Something liquidy for a little while. And, this part was cool. So then once it was brined, he injected it.
With?
It sounds really gross. So it's like you're shooting the turkey up with like, it's like a combination that
Steroids?
he had read. No, it's what it looks like. But it's like butter and like spices and all this really yummy stuff.
Where does he inject it?
In the turkey, like
multiple places. Yeah, like are we going ass shot? Or are we going
in the leg?
Okay,
like it looked like the legs, and then the back. I don't know, everywhere, kind of like wherever you think needs
the breast.
The breast. You shoot those bad boys up, give them a little boob job.
We got a turkey breast, so I got a full turkey and then a turkey breast.
Yeah,
the thing was so ridiculously huge.
The breasts are big.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And because I wondered if it was going to be enough to feed our family.
Right.
Like the 30 of us. And they were like, oh, no, you need one full turkey, a whole turkey, and then one breast.
That's what we did.
I was like, are you sure that's going to be enough? Because I'm thinking like chicken breast. This thing was gigantic.
I think that's their like go-to, the people who sell you turkeys anytime you're like, I don't know if I have enough. They're like, oh, here's a breast. That's just what they do. Because they did that to us too. So we had a
So you had
breast.
injected breast.
So, well, the actual turkey was injected. And it was, we were all staring like, whoa, it's just cool. It looks like it's like all of a sudden, you know,
you can see
Hulk,
it going in there.
You know, it's like just a dude, and then all of a sudden it turns into Hulk, and like it's like you're shooting somebody up with muscles.
Getting
you can
bigger.
see it inflating. This is probably like, I mean, the turkey's dead, whatever. It's not like inhumane, but it would be if it wasn't.
Okay.
So anyway, we watched that, and that was very exciting. Injected the turkey, and then he smoked it, and it just took a few hours. So he smoked it the day of, and it was ready right around 3:00, which is when we ate.
Okay. Very cool.
So yeah, and it ended up being really delicious, like really, really, really good turkey. And it was a lovely Thanksgiving. It was nothing crazy fancy, and we ate a lot. And God, I just overate. Do you overeat?
Oh yeah,
at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I ate a lot, but there were so many people. We actually had no leftovers. I mean, like very few leftovers. Yeah. So usually, like I'll eat, you know, clean up, watch the game, and then go back for round 2 at like 6 or 7, and we didn't even have leftovers.
Oh, so there were no turkey sandwiches.
So there were no turkey sandwiches. We saved some ham, and there was like a little bit of dressing. So I had like a random hodgepodge of stuff, but I didn't get to like gorge the second time around because there was no leftovers.
I wasn't even available to gorge.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't eat the rest of the day, and then had too many gin and tonics. And
gin and tonic. That's an interesting Thanksgiving drink.
It's my parents' drink. So whenever they're in town, they make gin and tonics.
Right.
We sat out by the fire in our trauma chairs.
Yeah. And then went night-night.
And then went night-night. And then the next day was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a wonderful Thanksgiving. It was fun.
Thanksgiving might be my favorite holiday of the year.
Really?
I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun, and you get like the kids are off of school for a week, and you're guaranteed a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
With like family members and all that kind of stuff, and usually longer.
Yeah.
And it's off season for me. Like it is
kind of nice.
I love
it's like not all the pressure
no,
that you
no
have during
presents
Thanksgiving.
and all that. It's just like cooking and eating.
Yeah.
And then cleaning up, and that's not a big deal.
Right.
So we're glad Thanksgiving was here.
It's behind us.
It was wonderful, and it was great. I'm glad I didn't let myself stress out a ton.
Good.
Yeah.
It sounds like you enjoyed it.
I did. It was great. But so much happened from Thanksgiving until now. So we're taping on Monday. I think this will air Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, whatever. Yeah. It's all still going to be, relevant because shit's
I don't feel like
hitting
there's much left that can change.
That it can happen.
I mean,
so where do we want to start?
Well, let's start with
the Cowboys
because we already referenced the game on Thanksgiving, which was
and who
crazy-ass
are
game.
They? Who is this team?
The Cowboys team?
Yeah. I don't know who they are.
Well, it's hard to know when so many people are injured, which they've been dealing with injuries.
And they'll get back.
Everybody does. But, and then the officiating was just like, I don't know. I don't want to say it was like terribly slanted against the Cowboys. It was just badly officiated generally.
Well, it's just too much.
When you're throwing that many flags, it's
too
just
much.
Insane. I couldn't even get a grasp of, I couldn't as a fan get a feel for the game, so I can only imagine how the players felt when you can't get into any sort of rhythm and
it's a total buzzkill.
Don't know what's being called or why. Yeah,
it's a total buzzkill when you're watching a game like that.
Yeah,
it's just constantly muddled up with penalties. It's just not fun to watch. And I understand you have to enforce rules. There's got to be some sort of happy medium that they can figure out. I mean, it's just.
Well, I heard Mike McCarthy was talking with the NFL officials about how that game went down, and
was he talking to him within 6 feet?
No. Well, there we go to our next topic. Yeah, maybe now all the officials have COVID too.
So
everybody
he's
who was
got
talking
COVID.
So the Cowboys are not in a good way.
No,
they were. I think the biggest thing that hampered them was just missing those wide receivers, missing Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb for that game was really obvious.
Yeah,
Dak was having to force things and couldn't. It was tough all around.
And the line has not been good. The offensive line has not been good.
The offensive line has not been good. Tyron Smith came back, but I don't know. He didn't look great.
Yeah.
And now Terrence Steele, who had been playing better on the offensive line, also has COVID. So that's where they're at now. So they lost that game. They lost 3 of their last 4. So we have this team that's like firing on all cylinders. You think they're going to the Super Bowl. Everybody's all fired up. You get so excited. Like, who could they ever lose to? This Cowboys team. No one can stop them. And now it's like, oh, well, we can lose to the Chiefs and we can lose to the Raiders at home on Thanksgiving. So after that game, now it seems like even more shit has hit the fan because the Cowboys are dealing with COVID. So I think, like, as I was driving in today, I heard 8-ish players and coaches now have tested positive for COVID and are going to have to miss time, are going to have to miss this week's game against the Saints. That includes Coach Mike McCarthy. So he won't be coaching this weekend, and I think it's just going to be like a shared load between the coaches. Dan Quinn will step up. Kellen Moore will step up. But when you're trying to find consistency as a team and you have more people out, including your head coach, I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, is the game in New Orleans?
Yeah, I think so.
New Orleans is not in a good way right now.
They're not, but
it's not like the Raiders were in the best way either.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you just don't know. We don't know. I have no clue what this team is. And maybe we'll know in, a couple of weeks. If you're going to go through a funk, middle of the season is probably the best time. You don't want to go through it at the beginning. You don't want to go through it at the end. The middle's kind of the ideal time. And there aren't many teams, let's be real, in the NFL that aren't going to go through a funk at some point in time.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
I mean, COVID's not going anywhere. It's still a thing. So, yeah, you're right. I think in any sport, when you're talking about looking at the season in like 3 parts, beginning, middle, and end, got to make sure that by the end of the season, you have things figured out and you've won 1 or 2 or 3 in a row. And then that's what matters, right? Get into the playoffs and see what happens. But definitely different than what we were saying about the Cowboys a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how quickly perception can change. And speaking of the Dallas Stars, my.
Yeah.
They look a lot better after losing 7-2 and everybody losing their shit, like collectively.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. And then now they're like on fire.
Now they've won 4 in a row. They've beat some good teams. They beat
6 out of 7, right?
6 out of 7. Yep. A lot of home games. So this is a pretty home heavy section of the schedule. And in the past, that hasn't necessarily meant anything. They weren't good at home last season, I want to say, and even the season before. But this year, it seems like they are. They're winning at home. The fans are getting really into it. They're letting the younger players have a little bit more of a role. I think they're seeing guys like Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin maybe needing to step back in their role a little bit as they age, and they just don't, for whatever reason. The young guys are taking over a bit more. Rope Hintz has been on fire. Jason Robertson, who was a rookie last year, he was in like all the Rookie of the Year talks at the end of the season. It's good. I feel good about the team. They're skating fast. And then when you're talking about young guys, they also have Jake Ottinger in net. They're letting him kind of ride now. He started the season in the AHL. And they were going with Anton Hudobin, Braden Holtby, Ben Bishop, hopefully, but Ben Bishop's been out. Braden Holtby got hurt. Anton Hudobin's been a little bit sketchy. So they basically said, all right, Jake, you're getting the call and let's see what you can do. And what he's been able to do is have one of the lowest goals against averages in the league since he's been up and gotten this team the wins that they needed. Okay,
so question though, when you talk about the young guys being brought up and being given more of a role, are the old guys, are the veteran guys really cool with it? Or do you think it's a front?
I think they're cool with it.
You do?
I think they're not.
But probably largely because it's working. They're winning.
Yeah.
And so you're willing to, be a little more adaptable to something like that and amenable to a change.
Right. There's a point in your career, though, where you kind of just know you don't have what you used to have.
Right.
And when you're being...
I know, but some people fight it really hard.
Some people fight it really hard. I know they've, I don't know. Jamie and Tyler, I think, are the prime examples. The coaches haven't seen what they want from them.
Right. Well, and then you get to a point in time, too, where you realize even if you're in denial a little bit about your skills diminishing, you also realize the sense of urgency to try to do something, to try win a title, which is basically what these guys haven't been able to do. They've gotten all the way really close and then weren't able to do it. And so you start to make... kind of concessions and deals with yourself, I think. I mean, you see it all the time in sports.
And then they start to trust these other guys. Like, hey, these guys actually have something. Let me see how I can be best utilized as a player for this team. like Brendan Morrow stands out, right? Like he went from being the goal scoring guy to being like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to like check hard, hang around the net and try to do what I can right in front of the net. And he was able to score goals that way. So we'll see what happens with Tyler and Jamie, but I think it's good that these other guys are stepping up. Rope Hintz has been like unreal. And Denis Gurianov had a beautiful goal against Edmonton. So I think that the coaches are feeling really good about that. And we'll see a lot more home games this month, which is nice for me and nice for the Stars. So if anything, like they're pulling out of like the gutter to where I think some people had said, the Stars suck this season. I'm just not even going to
check out.
I'm going to check out, you know? And I even thought about it, you know, I was like, ugh.
Well, you can't check out.
I can quit watching.
No, that's true.
And quit caring. But now it's like, okay, good. And it's just so much more fun, like to go to the games and everything. It's been fun. So that's a good thing. Okay.
Rangers.
Want to go Rangers?
Finally. Well, before we talk Rangers, let's talk about the home of the Rangers. And that, of course, is Globe Life Field. And so we want to tell you about some new tenants there in Globe Life Field, or soon to be next season. But right now, a little word from our friends at Globe Life. The job market right now is a different landscape than it used to be, whether you're attempting to balance your work and home life or find a career that aligns with your goals and needs. It's a lot to juggle. If you're looking for a career path that offers a flexible schedule, the ability to make a difference, and the independence to build your own business, take a look at Globe Life. Anyone watching the Texas Rangers play has seen the name Globe Life, but many do not know how much opportunity is really there, and how successful women in particular thrive in their careers with Globe Life, which we love to hear. If you've never considered the insurance industry, you should know that a growing number of women are finding success within it. Globe Life has been around for generations and prides itself on its commitment to make tomorrow better. With virtual and in-person business models, you can find success wherever you are. If you want to be paid what you're worth, keep a flexible schedule, and find meaning in your career while being engaged in what matters most at home, reach out to Globe Life today at globelifeagents.com. It could change your trajectory in a way you never thought possible. That's globelifeagents.com to discover what a career at Globe Life can do for you. And we are so proud to have Globe Life as a partner. And it has been cool for us as we've brought these new partnerships along to learn more about them. You know, like when we talked to Globe Life, it was like, we're not just trying to sell insurance. We're also trying to get people in your demographic, particularly women. We want to bring them on board. We want them on our team, and to see them adapt the way that they have as far as offering the virtual, basically they're trying to fit into
the ever-changing world.
And especially the world of working moms. Yep. And so shout out to Globe Life for doing that. We are definitely appreciative and proud to have them as a sponsor. Okay, so Rangers news.
Did you see any of this coming in?
Finally. Well, okay. So they had said, we're going to spend. And you want to believe, right? Because then I'm like, you can't say you're going to spend and then not spend.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to like play coy and not really tip your hand, but you can't come out and say that and then not do it. And so when we were at, November 28th, and I'm like, we've got about 72 hours until this lockout's going to happen, because if they can't come to agreement on the CBA, which they're not going to, at December 1st is when now sides can't talk. So you can't talk to potential free agents.
That's why all this is happening right now.
Yeah, you can't talk to free agents. You can't talk to... And so you wondered, like, what would this period be like from the end of the World Series until December 1st? And then I think we saw a little flurry in the beginning, and then it kind of went dead. And then obviously a flurry has started to happen. And the Rangers had not been a part of anything. And I was like going crazy. And then Marcus Semien comes down, and then Cole Calhoun, which is it's a 1-year deal for Calhoun. Semien is a 7-year deal, which makes me so happy. A 7 years,
$175 million.
Yes. That means you have someone that you're tying your horse to Marcus Semien. And do we know what kind of player Marcus Semien is going to be for the next 7 years? No, but he has a track record that indicates he can perform consistently season over season. So I mean, he's 31 years old, that this gets him through 38. I mean, do I think he's going to set the world on fire? I have no idea. But here's the deal. You've got someone with a proven track record that has also, from everything that I've heard, has kind of a swag about him. He's got he's a dominant personality to where he's going to hold those accountable, those around him accountable. And that's what a young team like this one really, really needs. And so that to me was huge.
Yeah.
Cole Calhoun, a 1-year deal. That's great too. He's killed us in the past. He's a strong outfielder. I think, our outfield defense has been good the last couple of seasons, and I think that he'll fit in nicely there. And then you have John Gray, who is a solid. I mean, right now he's the most experienced and best pitcher on your staff. I think ideally you would like for him to be, a 2 or a 3.
Okay.
But
4-year deal.
4-year deal too, and that to me is exciting as well. Like, you've got a guy with some, he's a veteran. He's got a proven track record. Does that mean he's not? It's like, people clown the Corey Kluber trade, and they're like, oh, he pitched 1 inning for us. I'm like, what? Okay. And then he went on to right, you don't know what's going to happen. All you can do is take the information that you have. And then, like you said, if you say you're going to commit to people, you say you're going to spend money, all you can do is do it. You can't predict what's going to happen. You can't predict an injury. You can't predict a complete drop off of production compared to their last 4 or 5 seasons. You just can't. And so this is what you'd have to do. But you have to do something. And I think for a while, for the last couple of years, it wasn't that they were doing nothing. They were trying to rebuild the farm system, all that kind of stuff. But we just didn't have anything tangible to hold on to. And so, like, for me personally, like, when I'm thinking about, am I going to come back? Because I redo my contract every year.
Yeah.
And so I do 1-year deals, and every year I don't commit to coming back until we have our discussions. And so I legitimately, like, you think about, like, God, who's going to be on this team long term? So much of my job is developing these relationships to create this thing between our players and our fan base.
It probably stinks when you finally get to know somebody, right, and then they're gone.
Right. And then, so the last couple of seasons, it was Elvis, and then Rugi, and then Joey. And then, it just was like this mass exodus of people that I identified with that could, quite honestly, vouch for me in the clubhouse with the other guys. And so, you think about all those things. And so, being able to have a couple of people that that they're committed to, and a couple of guys that have the track record that they have, I think that's encouraging. I don't think they're done. By the time this airs, we're shooting on Monday, the 29th. I don't think they're done.
It doesn't seem like it.
That's think that there will be maybe one more big one, and then maybe a medium, like a big and a medium. And so we'll see. We'll see what that is. Hopefully, hopefully my instincts are right. But yeah, I'm super, super stoked. And I'm stoked. I don't even know if we mentioned that Chris Woodward, his contract got extended.
No, yeah.
And I'm super excited about that. I mean, the dude is eternally, like, optimistic, but he's also too realistic. He's a very good balance of those things.
Well, and I think that might show that the management understands that he wasn't working with the best of situations.
Seriously.
But sometimes they don't understand that, and they just say, we need to chop somebody's head off and show the fans that we're trying to make changes. Right. So I'm glad they showed faith in him. Semien, third runner-up in MVP voting. Like, if that
45 homers.
45 homers. Like, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have 45 bombs. I think the way that the parks that he played in the American League East are a little more hitter friendly than the parks in the American League West. So I don't know that he'll hit 45 bombs, but I don't think he needs to. So anyway, I'm super, super stoked.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not the end. I hope there's a few more out there.
I feel like when this offseason started, this is more than anybody would have expected and hoped for.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I mean, when you're getting the big name guys that are, on the market or available
Carlos
or
Correa
whatever.
is still out there.
Yeah.
Trevor Story's still out there. Kyle Seager's still out there. There's still some names.
Yeah, and he's the one that was...
Corey Seager.
Yeah, Corey Seager. Sorry. He's the one that was rumored to be coming...
Yeah.
Or that the Rangers were maybe even interested in. So you're like, okay, well, even to have their name in that conversation with somebody like that, okay, maybe not more than they hoped for, but at least
We're getting there.
And it's something.
Yes.
And it's substantial. So that's good. And I know that's good for you, because the other thing is when you make these kind of moves, you're showing the guys that are on the roster, like, hey, we want to compete. We wanted to try and make this happen. We want to be a player now.
Right.
We've heard for a long time, it's rebuilding. So at least it's some good Rangers buzz.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Which they needed.
Okay.
So then we move on to college football.
Holy shit.
I mean, I think the biggest one, Lincoln Riley, is now gone from OU. That came down yesterday. What seemed like out of nowhere.
I think it was not seemed like. It was absolutely out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, the only rumors was
LSU.
Like, that's the only reason people were even talking about him maybe leaving Oklahoma. And then that was squashed. That rumor was squashed. Okay, he's not leaving. He's not going to LSU. And then all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, but keep in mind, he said, I'm not going to be the next head coach at LSU on Saturday.
He didn't say I'm not leaving.
Correct. And then on Sunday, you find out he's going to USC, which is insanity to me.
And it makes you wonder, like, how long has this been? Was there something in the works? Like, how long has he been eyeing a new job? Why? Is it all about the move to the SEC?
Yeah. Which that to me seems crazy. I mean, I know Lincoln, and it's not like he's one to shy away from competition, but it looks... I mean, he
had a really good start to his career at OU. He was the guy. OU was the team. And maybe you can already see that wavering a little bit, because they have not done well these past couple of seasons. They just had that bad loss to OSU. And then he's thinking, okay, I want to be the guy again.
But he's still 50,
that was fun.
He's 55-10.
Yeah, I know.
55-10.
I'm married to a freaking Sooner, so I know how they are, and they get pissed and they're upset, and that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Never good enough unless you win a title if you're at OU, and that's got to wear on you as a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know. So maybe he's just done with it. He wants to be the guy. He wants to win again. And not have that like crazy expectation over you every time you step out on the field.
Yeah, Barry Switzer, I think, called it feeding the monster. Like you have to feed to feed the monster.
Yeah, and then obviously they offered him a whole lot of money, and that's something. But yeah, it came out of nowhere, and I feel like OU people don't know what to do.
Oh, they absolutely don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do with this situation. They're pissed. Nobody leaves OU. Why would you ever leave OU? Nobody does that.
It's been like since 1950 or something that a coach has voluntarily left Oklahoma. Well, I mean, or to take another job.
To take another job.
Stoops, technically, who will be coaching the bowl game, which is super awkward. I mean, I guess it's not awkward, but it is kind of weird.
That they brought in Stoops.
Right. But I mean, whatever. So anyway, yeah.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
So yeah, they made the announcement that Stoops is going to be the interim head coach until they hire somebody. And it reminded me of when the Mavs shit show, Firestorm, was going on. And Donnie Nelson was out. Rick Carlisle was out and was like, Dirk's back. Dirk's back. We've got Dirk. We don't know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. When he wasn't, you're like, we've named him our official.
He's an advisor.
Assistant ambassador advisor.
Yes.
For basketball operations.
That was the Hail Mary for Dirk. And now I feel like OU's doing a similar thing. It's like, it's okay. Bob Stoops is here.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Don't panic.
Everything's going to be fine.
No. But, I mean, it is OU. You do worry, though, because a lot of the recruits have already, like, decommitted.
Oh, yeah? It's the Wild West out there. The transfer portal, it's like, peace, I'll see you later.
That portal is full.
Oh, the portal is jamming. Like, there's a party in the portal.
Party in the portal right now, but nobody knows where to go until they see how this all shakes out.
Oh, and then they were like, somebody sent out a tweet that was like, OU is targeting... Arizona Cardinals coach Cliff Kingsbury. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of like when I targeted Justin Timberlake in high school. Like,
I like that.
Fuck? You think he's going? You think he's going to, he's what?
He's winning.
He's 9-2 or some shit like that.
9-2. Like in the NFL. And he's got Kyler Murray.
And you know, let me tell you what Cliff did not like to do. Cliff was not a fan of like the recruiting and all that whole grind of that. And I think a lot of college coaches are that way. Where
that's just a lot.
It turns into it becomes this like never ending, and especially now with social media. And
like a dog and pony show. Yep.
And that was one of the things with Cliff is that was something that was hard. That grinded on him. And it's not something, I mean, he doesn't like bullshitting in somebody's couch, in somebody's living room. let me say that again. He doesn't like bullshitting on someone's couch in someone's living room. You know what I mean?
Right. Talking to their parents.
That's what I mean.
And like yes.
There's some guys that'll turn that on. Mac Brown, please. Let me just tell you. Mac Brown, that man could sit and charm you.
How many moms do you think he called darling?
Oh my gosh.
Players.
Seriously.
Sweetheart?
And that's not Cliff's game.
Right.
And so the fact that he would be 9-2 as a head coach in the NFL
after last year didn't go well, so everyone who wanted to say that it wasn't going to work out had their chance. But this year it is.
Right. And so, of all time, it would be one thing if they were 2-9, maybe, right? That he might consider like, and here's another thing, like people talk about, they might money whip him. Here's another thing about Cliff. He doesn't have, he's not married, doesn't have kids. Bachelor can only spend so much money on himself. Like, what does he really need to buy at this point? You know what I mean?
And and that's not photo of him in that house.
Oh,
it's just like, that house is beautiful.
Yeah.
What more could you want? Arizona's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Norman's not.
Yeah.
It's not beautiful.
Fighting words. So anyway, and I could be wrong. Like if I'm wrong and Cliff's the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners next season.
And OU fans are banking on him just being like, or anybody like, oh my God, OU? Like, you mean I could be the head coach there? That's what I've always wanted since I was a young kid, is to be a part of the
Not a dude who grew up in New Braunfels and went to Texas Tech.
Right.
No.
I don't know. They might think even at Tech, like everybody, I think the Sooners think that like if you're at Tech, if you're at A&M, if you're at Texas, you really just want to be at OU.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
You're lucky to get that opportunity. I don't know.
That is cute that they think
I'm not trying to bash on my Sooners.
That's adorable. So cute.
I think in their mind, it's like the job.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see who they get. This will be so
the job.
Fun. It's not, okay. I know. That's what
everybody
thinks
I
know. Everybody thinks their school.
I'll admit that the Mizzou job is not the job.
Listen.
I'll admit.
Texas Tech is not the job either. But I will say, another note, Joey McGuire, we got a new head coach.
Yes.
And you know what? Effing Joey McGuire wants to be at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And as an alumni, to me, that is half the battle right there.
Yeah.
Because the last few coaches we've had outside of Cliff have been looking for the bigger, better deal. And this guy,
I sure hope you're right.
This guy is not Joey McGuire. This is his ultimate. This is his dream job.
Yeah.
And for me, there's some sort of solace in knowing that.
Yeah.
And so
he's great. He was on the hard line the day that I was filling in.
He's super fired up.
He was like,
and I bet he can recruit the shit out of some dudes. Like I bet he can sit in a living room.
Well, he's used to like firing up high school kids for Christ's sakes for a long time.
I think he'll do good.
He's at Cedar Hill? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think I interviewed him once.
I covered him a million times when they were playing
high school football.
Yeah. So best of luck to him. I hope he crushes it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're happy with that hire.
Thank you.
And then the other one that I thought was surprising was SMU. Sonny Dykes. So he has the team off to a good start this year. We're finally hearing people talk about SMU football, and they're winning a few games in a row. And people are excited around Dallas. TCU's not having a great season. So, of course, the SMU fans are rubbing that in their face. Well, they lose a few games, SMU does, and then TCU needs a new head coach. And guess who they come calling for? When the rumors were coming that, first of all, Gary Patterson being gone, we never even broke that down much on the show, but that was kind of shocking. And then you have the vacancy in Fort Worth. And I feel like, I don't know why. I'm like, I don't know why I feel like people don't look very far when they're looking for a head coach. Yeah. It's like, this is a wonderful job to be the head coach at TCU. And they could probably get a lot of people. SMU is right in their backyard. They're winning games. So I guess they are hearing people talk about Sonny Dykes. And as we've talked about, he's a wonderful coach, has a lot of tradition in his family, all of that, and I'm sure he's going to do fine. But all of a sudden, Sonny Dykes, that's the guy we want. And then I started thinking, I don't know. I feel like he's SMU. Like, I don't see him leaving. And you hear a lot of people saying, no, he wouldn't leave. Well, next thing you know, SMU loses Sonny Dyke. He was hired by TCU, and off he goes across DFW to Fort Worth. And then had to they had senior day this past weekend. So the football team knows that they've just lost their head coach to their arch rival, and they have some parade down the boulevard, and he's got to walk out with the team. And I guess people were I don't want to say throwing things at him, but basically screaming at him, holding up signs, TCU sucks, this, that, and the other. It wasn't pretty. And I'm still just like, I know it's a business and I know there's money involved, but I'm still shocked when things like this happen. It's just, that's why I say, I hope you're right about Joey McGuire, because you think someone's loyal and you know, they preach to their team for years and years and years. It's all about them. It's all about this school. But once that other job opens, then.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think at least though, for the short time, I mean, for the, you know, like I feel like once Tommy Tuberville got here, the second he got here, he was looking to leave or here to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Mike Leach, after a couple of seasons, it was apparent he was trying to make another move. And so I don't know. And I feel like also too, he gets West Texas, he gets the whole dynamic, recruiting to Texas Tech, all that kind of stuff. But yes, at the end of the day, this is all a business. It's all a shit show. And
it's a shit show.
But my whole thing is with this whole like transfer portal, all that, fine. Let the players transfer, because if these head coaches making gazillions of dollars can up and leave whenever the F they want, the players should be able to do the exact same thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, especially.
Oh, so you need to sign a 4-year commitment that you can't get out of, but your coach can leave whenever the hell he wants.
Right.
Because some boosters are going to
play for a certain coach.
Right.
Yeah, I want to play for Lincoln Riley, and now Lincoln Riley's gone. Well, you know what? I don't want to play for Mystery Man at this point.
Mystery Man.
Like, so I get it, but I see too where the schools are trying to keep that continuity, make the football program succeed, and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. I used to feel like professional sports were kind of a shit show, but now I think college sports are overshadowing them.
Such a shit
Not
show.
that professional sports aren't. I mean, all of the Cowboys have COVID right now, so that's a shit show too. But when we're talking about local schools, Emily, and TCU and SMU, we want to make sure you're aware of another one that's available to you. If you are at a point in your life where you're thinking you might want to do something a little bit different and you need more education, and that is MSU Flower Mound. They're a great partner with us here on the Mom Game. It is Midwestern State University in Flower Mound. They're here to help you complete that bachelor's degree that you maybe never finished. It happens. Life gets in the way. You get busy. Maybe you had kids and you were a stay-at-home mom for a while, and then you realize, okay, I actually need to maybe find a second career. MSU Flower Mound is here for you. Maybe you're at a local community college, you're looking to transfer. Their programs are designed to help advance your career. Their degree programs are offered completely online, which is great for the working mom or the adult learner. Nobody has time for in-person classes right now. You can do it all at home with MSU Flower Mound. They offer programs in nursing, respiratory care, radiologic sciences, teacher education, human resources, and much more. Go check them out. Complete your degree in as little as 3 semesters, up to 2 years. So really, that's not long at all to change your life. Although courses are offered online, they have a dedicated team and campus located in Flower Mound for all your in-person student services needs. And now is the time to enroll for spring at MSU Flower Mound. So if you're thinking like you might want to do a little something different, check them out. On behalf of us, we're super happy to be partnering with them. And we all know what it's like when maybe you're just not feeling it. You get in a rut. Check out MSU Flower Mound.
Now's the time. It's about to be the new year.
Now's the time.
Start something new.
Yes, exactly. That was a lot of sportsing.
Lots. I know. I'm glad we got to catch up. But before we go today, we mentioned it's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is.
It's also time to do a lot of shit with your kids.
It is. I always feel pressure. My kids are little still, right?
I know.
Like, I'm still getting used to having 2 young kids. Anna's only 3, so it's been 3 years of this. And I feel like every time there's not enough time in the Christmas season because there's so many different activities that you can do. You want to make sure that your kids are having a good Christmas experience, that they're not missing out because mom didn't know what to do. Mom didn't know where to take them, all of that. So I don't know. I love the Christmas season. I'm excited for it. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. I love the fun stuff they have at school. I love the fun projects they come home with. In kindergarten, it's just the cutest when they make all their we actually did like our Thanksgiving decorations, and I was proud of myself for this. It was all writers like Thanksgiving artwork. I hung it up. I made like all of our Thanksgiving table decorations with his artwork. You know, because we were talking about what to do with all the shit they bring home. So I was like, I'm going to do something cute.
Very cute.
I was
proud
proud
of you. And speaking of good ideas.
Yes.
We have an expert who can help
do.
us with all things Christmas and kids.
So earlier in the show, we talked a little bit about the holiday season, our plans for the holiday season, what we want to do with the kids. And I thought it would be a good time now to bring on one of our friends, a friend of the Mom Game, Erin England of Play Source Dallas. Erin, how are you?
Hi, great. How are y'all?
Good, thank you. So yesterday I was just, cruising the gram like I'll do, and saw your fun latest post on PlaySource, which is all about holiday events in and around Dallas that you can do with your family. And as you always do with this company and this website, you did a really good job of breaking things down, how much things cost, what we maybe can skip this season, what you need to make sure that you can do. So I just really wanted to have you on today to talk through all of it, because there's a lot of stuff to choose from, isn't there?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I feel validated, right? I feel like a real pro. The Mom Game found me. Cool.
Well, you are a real pro, and you were kind enough to sponsor our kickoff party, and we're excited to partner with you for all kinds of things. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to chit-chat a little bit about Christmas.
Yes, because it's here. I don't know if you've heard. It's December, or it's not even December, but it's basically January. To me, it's MLK Day. To me, we're
It does move very fast. Life comes at you quick, especially during the holidays.
we're done. But where am I looking? Can you guys see me okay?
Yeah.
Just look straight at your camera.
You're looking good. So just for a little background, though, tell us, for people who may not know, we've talked about PlaySource quite a bit here on the show, but what is it and how did you get started with it?
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Okay, so playsourcedallas.com. It's a website that serves as a directory for parents to figure out what to do with your kids. I started it when I was on maternity leave with my daughter, Alex. She's now 5. And there's not like there's no instruction booklet, right? Like, what do you do with your kids just generally? Mm-hmm. And then just started thinking, like, what do I do with her all day? Like, I had this great maternity leave policy, but legitimately tell me, nap when she naps, whatever, eye roll. What do I do with her? And that just got more challenging as she got older and more mobile. It's like, I need a break. She needs to get out of the house. And I started Googling it, and Google is it's just inadequate, right?
Yeah. It gives me tired head.
Yeah, super tired head. It wasn't vetted. It wasn't get to the point, right?
Yeah.
A lot of good blogs out there. There's a lot of good resources, but they're just not, you have to kind of wade through a lot of extra narrative, if you will. And I just need the facts, right? Like, give me the information.
Yeah.
Now on PlaySource is a directory of over 1,000 places, and you can go in and filter it by free, by indoor. Do you want to do archery? Do you want to ride a horse? Do you need an indoor playground because it's raining and you don't want to pay for it?
Yep.
A drop-in kids place where you don't want to have to, make a reservation in advance. So that's what it is. And then Instagram is just an extension of that. So help me just connect with moms and dads and grandparents. Got a lot of grandparents out there.
Yeah.
They tell me what they're going to do, and I can share it with the rest of the world, right? And put it on the website. And so that's what you saw last week. Every year I try to do like this year's holiday events because I said there's so much crap going on.
There's a lot.
There's only 3 weekends left. Like,
I didn't even know that yet. I hadn't counted the weekends. Okay.
Yeah.
We really got to get this figured out.
Yeah. Well, because Christmas Eve is on a Friday. And I just felt overwhelmed. I thought, there's so much fun stuff to do. You see all these pictures of your friends on Instagram. It just hit with all of it. And so I needed one stop shop, one list to go through. I can just scroll through. Sounds cool. My kid's too young. Okay, let's do that. And pick like 3. Mm-hmm. That's the approach. So do you want me to tell you about the blog or like what to do?
No. So how did you, all of it. So how did you, I guess, figure out which events to highlight, and how many events are there on there? Are there any of your favorites that you've tried personally? I think for me, I feel like I wait too late. And then it's like, oh, let's go look at Christmas lights. Well, there's like, places where you have to like have an appointment to go look at Christmas lights. It's a lot to like take in. So then I just end up usually just giving up and being like, let's
watch a Christmas movie.
Let's just watch Elf and be done with this. So how did you kind of compile your list? What's on it, and what are some of the highlights?
Yeah. Okay, so the lawyer in me wants to say some BS like, just because I listed it is not a personal endorsement of the event. But I tried to find the ones that are, it's going to be the FOMO events, right? So if you're missing out. So if you miss this one, your friends went to it, you might have a little bit of FOMO or you wish you would have had it on your radar. So I really just went through, I mean, there's so many good resources. Dallasites is great. Uptown Mom blog. I just went through what everybody had been up to and looked at last year as well and kind of found the good ones, the bad, the skip it. And really it was pretty inclusive, right? So I wanted an extensive list. I also didn't want to be too Dallas based, right? So it's PlaySource Dallas, but only because PlaySource.com was like $25,000 when I tried to buy it. So PlaySource Dallas. And then
good reason.
We'll have PlaySource Austin someday, PlaySource Atlanta, and so on and so on. So Emily, there's some in Fort Worth, out your way. There's some north, there's some south, Waxahachie, right? Just to really take in the whole Metroplex. So it's not so Dallas centric. So that's how I came up with the list. And then the categories for me is key because sometimes I'm looking for where can I get pictures with Santa? Like maybe that's this weekend's agenda, right? Just pictures. You can scroll down to that category. Maybe I just need to look at lights. It's December 22nd, December 23rd. What are the best neighborhoods? And so I put those on there. One-time events like parades. You want to see the Nutcracker, kind of these iconic Christmas events. That's another category. And then ongoing stuff like Enchant, Radiance, Elf on the Shelf journey. I can get in some of those. That's also another category. So you could go the day your kid gets out of school, you could go tomorrow, you go today, or you could, make a reservation and make a plan to go Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So after doing this extensive research, I want to know, what are your favorites? What do you think you're personally going to do with your kids? Because I probably have room on the calendar for maybe 2 to 3, and I need help picking out those best 2 to 3. What do you recommend?
Max. Okay. Do you remember Luminova from last year? Did you do that?
No.
What was that?
It was a skip for me. Okay. They're not doing it this year. It was at Globe Life Park. It was huge. It was kind of a walk through, Christmas Wonderland. Put that in quotes.
Because the year before that is it kind of the same as Enchant?
Enchant was there a couple of years ago. I went to that and it was actually really, really cool. I took the kids and they loved it.
Okay. So Enchant is back. So if I had to do a number one, it's Enchant, but it's at Fair Park this year. There's ice skating, there's snow tubing, there's just all the Christmassy village stuff, the vendors, all the food you'd want, pictures with Santa. I'm going to go Enchant, number one.
Okay, can I do a little disclaimer on Enchant? It is fantastic. And I don't know if they do this year and call me a snob or whatever, but we paid for the VIP tickets where you got access to an indoor place that had food and hot cocoa and all that kind of stuff, so you could take a break. And so it's not cheap either way. I mean,
no, I looked at it, like $100-ish for my family.
Yeah. And then if you get the VIP passes or whatever, it's more. But I will tell you, if you can splurge on it, definitely do it because it's nice because you don't know what the weather's going to be like on the night that you pick or whatever. And to be able to get inside and I don't know if they still offer that, but when I went, I did the VIP thing and and there was a bar in there. Oh, and nice. So it was absolutely worth it. So there's my 2 cents on Enchant.
Yeah. And I was going to say that there's always a way to up the ante. I call it, they really Dallased it. So for example, the Christmas parade this year, the downtown Dallas one, which is a go. It's this weekend on Saturday, the 4th. They're selling tickets to it, $25 to $50 a person. If
you watch the parade,
you want a bleacher seat.
Okay.
I love Dallas, but come on.
Right. $25 to $50 just to sit there on the bleacher seat. I want a waiter in VIP service with that, please.
Yeah, right. I want to sit on somebody's shoulders as a 40-year-old adult. I want somebody to hoist me up.
Right.
Anyway, so there's that. But yeah, there's always kind of the extra, the VIP. You can get your parking in advance. I would say a great tip is to always go to their Instagram before you buy the tickets online. There's usually a promo code. Just look through the last couple of stories, last couple of posts. You can get some really good discounts. And anytime you can go on a non-weekend, which I know for working parents, it's a tough one. But if you can go on a Monday through Thursday, it's going to be cheaper tickets and just less crowds for sure. So Enchant's a good one. Elf on the Shelf Journey, that's the one that's at Globe Life Park this year. That's more for little kids. I would say 2 to 5.
Okay.
they're going to get a little bored. Radiance, they had this last year. It was like, I think it was Frisco Rough Riders in the parking lot. It's kind of like a drive-through parking lot. And last year was such a bad barometer because of COVID, never just to make something happen. But there's 4 locations of Radiance, but that's definitely going to be, you're driving through a parking lot, looking at lights, and then at the end, there might be some snow tubing and hot chocolate and stuff.
Cool.
So maybe your expectations on that one. But if it's drizzly and you just need to get the kids out of the house, drive through a freaking parking lot and look at.
There you go. Especially when they're little, they don't know the difference. They think everything's cool.
This weekend is huge. If you just look at like December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so like this coming up weekend, all the parades. You have Dallas, Little Elm, I think McKinney, Frisco. Just look for your local. Just very Norman Rockwell rides, just downtown street, just big Santa coming through. Cute. I think it's gonna be really cute. But yeah, this Saturday is a big one.
Okay. Gotta get my ass in gear.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Last one. This is free. Just Grapevine. If you just go walk around downtown Grapevine, it's just kind of freaking magical.
Yeah.
They every day last year. I think they're going to do that this year. Just go to the city hall, walk down the streets. They have lots of little wineries, lots of places to get, hot cocoa and cider, stuff for the kids to do. It's just decked out really well. It feels very Christmas villagey.
We did Grapevine last year. It was really fun. I think we had to go on a weekend though, and it was packed. So I would say if you could probably sneak that in during the week, it'd be best.
I think anything you can do at this point in time on the week, during the week is definitely the way to go. Or I feel like, and even when the kids are out of school, those are still crazy. Like the closer you get to Christmas when the kids are out of school, I feel like
those days are crazy.
Those are crazy too. So it's like, do stuff as early as you can. That's my advice.
If you get out of town, so Canton is about an hour away. There's this Yesterland Park. Have y'all been there?
No, but I've seen the advertisements. They keep popping up on my Facebook.
It's one of those that really, it met my expectations and then some.
Nice.
Like, sometimes the ad is cuter than the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the deal on that? Is that like a all day experience? What? Tell me, like what time?
In the no bullshit terms, it's a side of the road amusement park on the side of. But it's in between here and Longview, which is my hometown. So, but you go in and there's a petting zoo. There's carnival rides, carnival games. So expect like there's gonna be a Ferris wheel. There's gonna be a really fun fast slides. There's gonna be little spinny things, right, that go round and round for the older kids. 48 inches is always the magic height. They can do everything. But there's a lot for that 36 to 42 inch, right? Your 4, 5, 6-year-olds. There's like cattle, like fake cattle roping towards the back. There's a big pond with a stage that overlooks the pond, all this outdoor seating, and they're doing acoustic country music, which just kind of puts you in that frame of mind, that family frame of mind. Tons of food, tons of picture, like photo ops. It's just really well done. Lots of different places to get like food and drinks and snacks. So instead of just having that, everybody descends upon the one snack bar and it's a 30-minute wait. And now everybody's pissed off because they're hangry. There's a lot of different places set up all throughout the property.
Cool.
So like when you show up, you're going to wait in line, get your tickets online. You're going to wait in line, go like towards the back of the property and come forward. I think you'll be really surprised. There's little roller coasters, good bathrooms, right? That's always key.
Yeah.
It's not just porta potty.
That sounds great.
So that's in Canton.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have. I'm glad to know that it's validated by a pro. Awesome. Erin, thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful for your partnership with the Mom Game, and I love checking out your website, and we will continue to chat.
Yeah, follow PlaySource Dallas, right, on Instagram for all the latest excursions.
That's it. All the latest. And send me your suggestions. I love hearing from other moms and dads.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'll send you mine if I end up doing anything, if I get my ass in gear. Well, Erin, we thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for all your support.
You get to do our closeout with us.
At the end of the show, every week, we do the same thing. Throw up our peace signs and say Mom Game out. It's cheesy as hell, but we're going to keep doing it.
Mom Game out.
Mom Game out.
Mom Game out.